Hey you, so today we're going to be looking at the things that you may have missed with the Beast Morphers trailer. There are quite a few things that you kind of missed that kind of really set the story of what's going to happen. Now, I believe that everything in this trailer is going to be from episode 1. But there is so much packed in that you don't really see it, and I only saw this when I started editing. Before we begin this video, if you want to smash that like button, smash the subscribe button, and smash the notification bell to be notified there'll be more videos dropping. And with that, let's just jump straight into the video. Number 1. So we open up on the trailer and it looks like we have a huge Megazord. So this is the first one, I think, which looks really cool. So it kind of sets the tone so you get like, oh my god, I really need to watch. Number 2, so in the second shot we actually see that there is a Megazord battle, and this is the one with the Blue Rangers Megazord against this monster. So I'm guessing maybe what we're going to see is that the first team didn't do very well, or this could be from a future clip. Now I do believe that it's still going to be in the first episode due to the fact of where it's located, where it is, how dark it is, and how it was from Go Busters. I think this was in the first Go Busters one. So I'm actually really excited to see this Megazord fight. So this will be the first time that we see the Blue Ranger Zord actually fighting. It also looks like it's fallen, so when you get near to the end of the clip, you see that the Zord's falling down. Number 3, in the third shot here, we have the, it looks like just a monster terrorizing the city. I've got to admit, I think this is from the first clip as well, first episode of Go Buster. So, you know, it shows you that maybe like monsters are just terrorizing the whole place, which again is very interesting. I'm actually quite excited. Number 4, we jump into another clip, very kind of briefly, of I think the first monster in Go Buster terrorizing the town, and you can see that everybody is scared. So they've added this clip in just to kind of like beef it out, but it's really interesting to see what we're going to be expecting. And I think this opening is going to be one of the best Power Ranger episodes that we've had for a very long time. Number 5, we see very briefly another monster, and I think this is going to be mainly, I don't know, I don't know this monster. So, but it's just interesting to see that we're going to see more Megazord fights. This shows that they're putting in these sorts of things to make you go, ooh, Megazord fight, Megazord fight. So I'm excited to see if we have multiple ones, or if it's just going to be the generic one monster at a time. But if they add more monsters in like this, ooh, it's going to be good. Number 6. Now, it kind of jumps to this like jet monster, which looks kind of impressive, I think. I generally think, but again, could just be put in for padding. Number 7. Now the next one that we see is, it's interesting because the same monster that we've seen at the very beginning is kind of in a Zord Bay, but there are people about. Now I thought when I saw this very briefly that this was going to be Blaze that you can see, but there are 2 people. So I'm thinking at the very beginning of the episode, you'll see monsters coming down, attacking, blowing stuff up. But I'm also thinking you'll get a flashback. It'll be like, hey, so I bet you don't know how we got here. And then you kind of see like maybe Blaze and Roxy are actually creating these monsters, or Equinox is creating these things to release into the world. But it's very interesting that we see this sort of like kind of Zord Bay. Number 8. In the next one, we have a clip where you've got this robot with a saw. And for some strange reason, this kind of made me think of Blaze's Megazord. So maybe he gets one straight away and it's able to do things. And it's just got a giant kind of saw on it. Or it's possibly a monster. Number 9. In the next one, we definitely see the Yellow and Blue Ranger fighting this monster, whatever it is. And, you know, it's very quick. But you can just quickly see it if you pause it. So it's more one of those blink and you miss it type elements. I think this looks really cool. Just the way that they're going for this monster, and you can definitely tell the after effects that they've just put on this monster when they've like punched it in the chest. Number 10. Looking at the next one, we see damage to a robot. So I'm guessing it's the monster that we've seen all the way through. So this looks like it's going to be destroyed, or it's just one of those like kind of step backs. But the way that the lightning is on this one is, I can see it like kind of like going all over it, and then they're just stopping, or this is just the finisher move. Number 11, we jump into seeing another monster with the first monster. I don't know the names, but I'm guessing what Blaze's Megazord is, if it is his, is firing off a rocket. And it's interesting seeing if they're going to team up. Now, I would love it if Blaze is like, do you know what? I'm going to get in a robot every single episode and I'm going to attack the Rangers with it. But I think this is just kind of a way of starting it off. Number 12. I think the last one in this one is there is Roxy or Escape. It's definitely Escape because you can see the sunglasses at the top. I don't know why they've added this one in, but I think it's actually really, really interesting. Mainly because, you know, why add her in? Why show this form off straight away when you could have led up to it? So I'm guessing it's kind of thinking, this is really kind of, type thing. I want to say interesting, but I've said it so much in this video. But with this one, I'm kind of intrigued on why showing it. Maybe we'll see Escape or Roxy in this straight away in the first episode. I'm guessing that she comes in later on in Go Busters, but having her in like straight away, I think, oh, what kind of story would you have with her? Or is this going to be something completely different? Number 13, jumping into the Red Ranger fighting Blaze. Now, until I actually sat down and started editing my previous video, which you can see on screen above, I didn't realize he was fighting Blaze. It was one of those really kind of, you only see it for about maybe a second of fighting. But this is definitely the Red Ranger versus Blaze. So if this is in episode 1, you're going to definitely see the flashback of Roxy and Blaze in the morphing grid, but then taken over by Enox later on. So having the main bad guy thrown in later, because from my interpretation, he didn't come into Go Busters until I think the last episode. Again, if I'm wrong, let me know down below in the comments. But I'm actually quite interested in checking out Go Buster now. But seeing the Red Ranger fight against Blaze, this is gonna be good. This means that we're gonna have a proper rivalry. Rather, I can't say that word. We have two rivals facing off. This is going to be sweet. So I'm thinking that Blaze is going to be like, I was meant to be the Red Ranger. You are just an imposter. And then they fight. They fight all the time. Number 14. Now, one thing is you can definitely tell that this is Roxy because of what she's wearing. Mainly because of the yellow that you see along on her arms, along her body. Is definitely resembles her like in her kind of other form. Now when you see obviously with Blaze, you can definitely tell that there's the red, so they've added this in, and it's actually really nice that they've not just made them different colors. Now the last thing that I want to have a look at is, and I'm going to be really kind of intrigued, is if the box in the back where Equinox comes out, or Evox when he comes out, is the morphing grid. That is a thing like how they're going to get their powers or something like that. But I would laugh if that was actually the proper morphing grid and it actually has a proper form rather than just like a rock that we had from the SPD thing, or if it's just kind of a fluid motion. But this, I think one of these devices, maybe either if it's not the morphing grid, I think it could be a way for the Rangers to go inside the morphing grid. So maybe it could be like a box that could transfer their data. Now we have seen it very briefly in the kind of like product demo. We saw it very briefly as the Rangers were teleported in. So I wonder if this has a way of getting them inside and outside the morphing grid. Hey, maybe there might be an entire organization that is inside the morphing grid and therefore it can't be touched apart from Evox when he comes in. So I'm more excited by seeing these sorts of scenes to kind of like slow it down and look at the clips. I am very, very excited about this, and I think this is going to be an awesome series. Let's just hope that we get the best episodes that we can going through. So Rangers, I'm going to leave it there. If I've missed anything in this trailer, let me know down below in the comments. And if you've liked this video, like, favorite, comment, and consider subscribing. Hit that like button, hit the notification bell to be notified when more videos dropping. And as always, Rangers, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in a bit.